Dissolution by C.J. Sansom. Read by Anton. I was down in Surrey, on business for Lord Cromwell's office, when the summons came. The lands of a dissolved monastery had been awarded to a member of Parliament whose support he needed, and the title deeds to some woodlands had disappeared. Tracing them had not proved difficult, and afterwards I'd accepted the MP's invitation to stay a few days with his family. I'd been enjoying the brief rest, watching the last of the leaves fall, before returning to London and my practice, when the rider arrived. The young man, one of Lord Cromwell's private messengers, had ridden through the night. Cromwell required to see me immediately at Westminster. I sighed. Once the prospect of meeting my patron would have thrilled me. It was largely due to Cromwell's patronage that at 35 I had a thriving legal practice and a fine new house. And work for him was work for reform, worthy in the eyes of God. So then I still believed. But this last year I'd started to become weary. Weary of politics and the law, men's trickery and the endless tangle of their ways. And it distressed me that Cromwell's name, even more than that of the king, now evoked fear everywhere. This was not the world we young reformers had sought to create. We'd once believed with Erasmus that faith and charity would be enough to settle religious differences between men. But by that early winter of 1537 it had come to rebellion, an ever-increasing number of executions and greedy scrabblings for the lands of the monks. There'd been little rain that autumn, and the roads were still good, so that although my disability means I cannot ride fast, it was only mid-afternoon when I reached Southwark. My good old horse, Chancery, was unsettled by the noise and smells after a month in the country, and so was I. I have ever been of a fastidious disposition, and as I approached London Bridge I averted my eyes from the arch, where the heads of those executed for treason stood on their long poles, the gulls circling and pecking. As usual, the great bridge was thronged with people, travellers and traders, cut-purses and would-be courtiers. Many of the merchant classes were in mourning black for Queen Jane, who'd died of childbed fever 2 weeks before. I shook the reins and steered Chancery through the throng into the great stew of London. As I passed down Ludgate Hill, I noticed, down a side street, a crowd of perhaps 30 standing outside a tavern, murmuring excitedly. On the fringe of the crowd I recognised William Pepper, a Court of Augmentation's lawyer, standing with a young man wearing a gaudy slashed doublet. Curious, I dismounted and led Chancery down the cobbles towards them, avoiding the piss-filled sewer channel. Pepper turned as I reached him. "Why, Shardlake, where have you been? I've missed you about the courts this term." He turned to his companion. "Allow me to introduce Jonathan Mintling, newly qualified from the Inns. Jonathan, Master Matthew Shardlake, the sharpest hunchback in the courts of England." I bowed to the young man, ignoring Pepper's ill-mannered reference to my condition. I'd bested him at the bar not long before, and lawyers' tongues are ever ready to seek revenge. "What's passing here?" I asked. Pepper laughed. "There's a woman within, said to have a bird from the Indies that can converse as freely as an Englishman. She's going to bring it out." A fat old woman in a greasy dress appeared in the tavern doorway, holding an iron pole set on 3 legs. On a crosspiece was the strangest bird I'd ever seen. Larger than the biggest crow, and eyeing the crowd with a glassy stare, it had red and gold plumage and a short beak ending in a fearsome hook. The crowd moved closer. "Keep back," the old woman called. "Tabitha will not speak if you jostle her." "Let's hear it talk," someone shouted. "If you all throw a farthing, Tabitha will speak." "What trickery is this?" Pepper scoffed, but joined in hurling coins at the foot of the pole. The old woman scooped them
Sample complete. Ready to continue?